What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatal Rudy. We're going to do the recap of Raw tonight. Started off with a recap of the Roman Reigns interview where Braun Strowman fucked him up and infamously flipped the ambulance. Then when they opened up, Braun Strowman came out. Said I was proud that he broke Roman in half. Messed him up in the ambulance, and that Roman Reigns won't be here. To which the crowd responded with yes chants, and which is good, which means we won't have Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman tonight. So Kurt Angle comes out, tells Braun Strowman that he's going to have a match with him at Payback, which pisses Strowman off, and that because of his actions that he should be suspended. But instead of suspending him, he's giving him a night off, and Strowman tells him that he wants more competition. And that, he wants more competition or else. To which Kurt Angle says, or else what? And then Roman backs away and walks out of the ring and up the ramp. I'm not too crazy about Strowman. This ongoing thing is Strowman backing down from people. He did it to Big Show. He did it to Lesnar, Undertaker. He's supposed to be a monster. Hence his title, Monster Among Men. But you're backing down. That's not telling me you're a monster. That means you're a big tough guy until someone bigger comes along, and then you go tuck tail and run. Grow a sack. Stand up to somebody. Now, being say that if I run into Braun Strowman, I probably would run the other way too. So, the first match of the night was Samoa Joe versus Chris Jericho. It was pretty good. I guess it's going to be a little light on this. A precursor of the Payback match, which I'm kind of okay with. It's not like the same shit every day type deal. Samoa Joe won with a tap out with a cookie and a clutch. Then we go to a backstage bit with Braun Strowman. Just totally wrecks R-Truth and Goldust. Then there was another shot of Strowman sitting in the locker room, and one of the officials comes up and says, "Well, you're supposed to have the night off." And Strowman says, "I'll leave when I want to," which kind of leaves a little bit of a confusion bit, because he wants competition, and I don't know. The club was out in the ring, which supposedly they were supposed to be facing R-Truth and Goldust. And so they call out anybody to come out. And Enzo and Cass comes out. Same shit, different week. Another match that I'm getting bored of seeing. The club beat the Enzo and Cass. like I said, we've seen this before. It's been done. How many times are we going to be seeing the same shit over and over and over? But can't control it. Maybe one day we'll start seeing new matches. The Miz came out for his Miz TV bit with guest Dean Ambrose. Ambrose comes out. Miz starts running Ambrose down. They go back and forth, and then Ambrose jumps the Miz. They go back and forth for a bit. The Miz tries the what's it called? The skull crushing finale. Ambrose gets out of it, tries to give the Miz the dirty deeds, and the Miz gets out of it and hightails it up the ramp. Cut backstage again. Strowman's on his rampage. He's got Kalisto. He's dragging him down the hallway, picks him up, and throws him into a dumpster. To which the Big Show comes out, rams him, and sends him into one of the, I guess, garage doors or whatever you want to call them. Tells him, "Why don't you pick on someone your own size?" And which leads into a match later on. The next match was a cruiserweight match. It was a good match, and I'm still not sold on the whole 205 Live thing. It was T.J. Perkins against Jack Gallagher. It was entertaining. Jack Gallagher is one of those guys that he's white enough that he'll glow in the dark. I told a friend of mine, if you shined a flashlight on him, you're gonna go blind, because it'll reflect right off of him. But was it Austin Aries and Neville were out at ringside, which I thought there was going to be a lot more done to it, but it wasn't. T.J. Perkins beat Gallagher, and then we cut backstage again. Titus O'Neil is talking to Apollo Crews, which we have all these people that we brought over from SmackDown, and we're not using them. We used Kalisto as a punching bag for Braun Strowman, and Apollo Crews is just backstage bit fodder. It was a waste of time. They need to do something. They need to do something with both of them, both Titus and Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews needs to start getting into some matches, and they need to stop jobbing Titus O'Neil to every person who comes down the pike. Like I said, it was a waste of time. Then we had the number one contenders match for the women's title, which was Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax. That was probably the best. I can't say that. The second best match of the night. They let him go. It was a good long match. It was kind of funny to see Alexa Bliss being a natural heel that she is, sit there and pick a fight with Nia Jax and hit her and then run away, then hit her, then run away. Which I don't blame her, because Nia Jax is huge and Alexa Bliss is tiny. It was a good match, like I said. Alexa Bliss won that one, so she's now the number one contender for the women's title. She was saying that, this is my division now. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to guess that match will be at Payback. they didn't mention anything on when that match was going to take place. We had Kurt Hawkins calling out anybody who, he thinks he's now bestowing greatness on people because of of the matches that he's in with. He calls out anybody, and Finn Balor comes out, which was I was surprised because there were reports that Finn Balor received a concussion from his match with Jinder Mahal the week prior, before Jinder Mahal went to SmackDown. Sorry about that, folks. Another technical difficulty. The match with, like I was saying, Finn Balor got a forearm from Jinder Mahal, and you could tell that he got his bell rung bad. So it was a surprise to see that he came back that week. This week, I'm sorry. And it was a quick match. There wasn't a whole lot of offense. Finn Balor ran right over Kurt Hawkins and caught the win. There was a backstage interview with Chris Jericho, which I thought was funny as hell, because in the background, Elias Sampson just comes walking through the set, just strumming his guitar, to which Chris Jericho puts Elias Sampson on the list. Then there was the video package from Bray Wyatt talking about the House of Horrors match. If you wanted to go get a sandwich, that was probably the best time to do it. That was completely useless. The House of Horrors match is going to be another projector match where there's going to be shit projected on the ring, I'm guessing. And I just lost my light. Then we had a singles match. Jeff Hardy versus I almost want to say Kalisto. Cesaro. It was an okay match. It was pretty good. Jeff Hardy looked like he hurt his leg. He looked like he was in pain for most of the match. He was gimping around. But Jeff Hardy won the match. And at the end of the match, both Hardy Boys and Cesaro and Sheamus shook hands, which was pretty cool. Because there was an interview earlier where Cesaro was saying that the Hardy Boys were he looked up to him, and it was good to see a little bit of mutual respect between the two teams, to which they're going to be facing each other at Payback for the tag titles. Then we come to the main event, which was almost a cookie cutter match from a couple weeks back, actually more than a couple weeks. Braun Strowman versus The Big Show. I was expecting this to be a very short match, being the time that they set the match for. It was almost 11 o'clock when the match started, and it actually went a pretty good bit over. Braun Strowman runs out before the bell, runs right up the ramp, and starts off with starts it with the Big Show. It went back and forth. The Big Show surprisingly performed a baseball slide out of the ring. Well, once the match started, let me getting ahead of myself. Did a baseball slide to Braun Strowman outside the ring, which was surprising. Big Show's actually in the best shape I've ever seen him since he started back in WCW. Then they went back and forth, trading off finishing moves, choke slam, knockout punch, power slam. They were trying to go to the top rope quite a bit. The match ended with Braun Strowman suplexing the Big Show off the top rope, and the ring collapsed. Almost similar to, was 2003, I think. It was 2003 when Brock Lesnar did the exact same thing to Big Show on SmackDown, and the ring collapsed in the same fashion. Big Show was laid out. Braun Strowman stood up. So I'm guessing they're declaring Braun Strowman the winner of that match, even though there was no pinfall or anything of the sort. It was a good Raw. It was about, I think it was 6 matches or so. So it was decent. They needed to use the people that they brought over from SmackDown for more than just interviewing, just background shots, stuff that's going on, back inside the stadium. You need to put them in a match. And I was expecting to see that this week, after the shakeup happened. Well, hey, look, here's all these shiny new people that we have. Let's put them to use. No, we're still going to show the same people. They could have done they probably could have gotten out of the Enzo and Cass match and used either Kalisto or Apollo Crews in a match, which would have been fine. Like I said, I hope they're going to use these people eventually, but we'll have to see how that comes. So tomorrow is going to be SmackDown. There's one of the commercials that was supposed to be a 6-pack challenge for the #1 contender for the world title. I can't remember exactly who was supposed to be in it, but that'll be interesting to see. So I'll watch that and give you my report on that tomorrow. So I'm going to jump. I've been Fatal Roadie. If you like it, hit the like button, leave a comment below. If you haven't already, subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next shot. And once again, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.